to help.
Help!
Yes, we'll do our best to... Doctor?
I don't know.
Hello and welcome YouTubers and Doctor Who fanatics to another Big Finish audio review, and today I'll be taking a look at a Rob Shearmon story. So yes, it will be unique in some way, which is Scherzo, starring Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor and India Fisher as Charlie for this full cast audio drama, and it starts off the Divergent Universe story arc. So if you want to skip straight to the review of this release, Scherzo, there is the time, so if you have or haven't skipped, let's begin the video. So for the cover art, which is pretty basic, we have Doctor Who, Scherzo, and then for the cover art it's basically just two hands to show friendship and compassion, which is quite high in this story, especially with the 8th Doctor and Charlie, so you can tell it is in a way a character piece, but a little bit more than that. But that's probably one of the most main focuses of the story, which is a character piece. So yeah, it's a very basic cover art, but still, I don't know why I still like it, I just do. And for the side, if you get the light on it, Doctor Who Scherzo in light brown or orange is release 52. And for the back, we have what this story is about. It's directed by Gary Russell, and it is 100 minutes approx. So if you open up, we have the booklet and the disc. If you can see on the disc, you might see the reflection of the handprint of the hands right by there. And of course, that's the front cover again. Or this right by here. And for the booklet, if we open it up, we have the author's notes from the brilliant Rob Shearmon. We have the production notes. We have the behind the scenes of the recording of the play, and we have the end credits and other releases, such as the other ones on the Divergent Universe, which I will review over time. And for the cast, you know, that's it. So to my review of Scherzo, as you know, it starts off the story arc, the Divergent Universe, which is Scherzo all the way to the next life. And a lot of people do say that a load of the Divergent Universe stories are quite odd, but this one is the true word of odd. Scherzo is, absolutely. And of course it is written by Rob Shearmon, who I gotta say is probably one of the most out of the box and unique writers ever, absolutely. We have Classic Who, New Who, and then Rob Shearmon. Yeah, you have like writers like, you know, the big John Dorney, or I don't know, for New Who, Jamie Matheson, everyone seems to praise him. But with Rob Shearmon, it doesn't feel classic or New Who, it feels absolutely unique, which I absolutely love. You know, Chimes of Midnight, it's probably the best thing to ever listen to at Christmas or ever experience. We have the Holy Terror with the badass Frobisher, and that's a pretty dark story as well. And we have Jubilee, which was the inspiration of Dalek. He has written classic, cracking story. If you haven't listened to a Rob Shearmon episode, then I insist, well actually you must listen to one, because it's definitely something unique from Classic and New Who, and definitely a new take on Doctor Who in the Rob Shearmon universe. So now it's the overall premise of Scherzo and the Doctor and Charlie, and they are transported in a place of nowhere. And if you know the Divergent Universe, there is no such thing as time, which exists in the Divergent Universe. There's no such thing of it. So it's just really the Doctor and Charlie in this situation. We could definitely see probably one of the most strongest characterizations between these two characters. If you don't like Charlie, this still won't put you off, because there's some absolutely fabulous characterization going between the two, which I love. And McGann is also absolutely fantastic in this story, I gotta add. Yeah, at first it seems like they're absolutely nowhere, but as it progresses on, there's some, you know, weird stuff happening. For example, they see a dead body on the floor, which afterwards it does explain what it is, and they, of course, they have to survive, they do, and they hear all these different voices. The most notorious one from this one is Help Me from the trailers. And what I like about each part, they always have an introduction with the Doctor, with Paul McGann as narrating, like, of a kingdom, which is pretty interesting, which I like. Which is like the introduction before the actual title music rolls into the story. It starts off to be quite normal, that they're absolutely nowhere with no such thing as time existing. And again, as it progresses, it does this with part 2, 3 and 4. A lot more odd stuff happens. You have to experience it for yourself, because it's really damn odd. Quite creepy in some places as well. the main touch of the story is, you see, have a relationship, which shows that if the Doctor and Charlie have trust, compassion, and a relationship between each other, and if they would stand beside each other. We also learn something quite interesting in Scherzo, that the Doctor says that he wants to die alone. And of course, for the main enemy of the story, which I would say is the sound creature, again, absolutely a very good take on a monster where it can play back your sound, and it's very chilling, it is as well. And of course there is one jump scare in this which absolutely got me. Just, if you want to, just put your headphones on at 100 volume, but I just wouldn't recommend it, that's all. So yeah, the Doctor, again, Paul McGann is absolutely fine form at this. Also Charlie Pollard, who I'm not really too fond of a character, I gotta admit, but again, absolutely stunning. The only thing, probably have to listen to this again. I wasn't sure what was going on with part 4 where Charlie's, I can't remember, it was something to do with Charlie, but I probably have to re-listen to it because I can't remember fully about part 4. It made my head go a little bit hazy, it did, so yeah, it is odd, definitely. So I'm probably going to have to re-listen to that to capture it, so I don't really know what actually happened to the end of this, because it went so odd I just lost it. But to be honest, this is the dark horse of the Big Finish line. It's probably the most oddest thing to ever get released in Doctor Who's canon, and possibly one of the best things ever. I think it's utterly of a marvellous piece of writing, superb character development, some creepy moments, and some of the most oddest things to ever happen in Doctor Who. Scherzo, for me, gets a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely love the story to absolutely bits. I think it works fantastically. Rob Shearmon is the master of the word odd, absolutely. I call it a dark horse story because I can't really say it to you if you would like it or not. I just cannot really say that question to you because you've got to really experience it for yourself. If you like Rob Shearmon's stuff, then I think you should like it. For your first Rob Shearmon episode, I would probably go for the other ones first because they are more on the side of more darker tone stories. This one isn't really dark, but creepy. The only thing I can say is just listen to it yourself. So, thank you very much for watching the review of Scherzo, and of course the Divergent Universe does not end there. And then of course we get introduced later on with the Croaker, who is the main enemy of the Divergent Universe story arc, and we will see more in him in the Creed of the Crowman and onwards. So of course I won't speak anything of the Croaker just yet, neither Creed of the Crowman, that will come later in time. But yes, I will see you in the next one, so have a good one.